Yeah, eve of a pretty big test match, full Loftus Versfeld. That's where you play rugby, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, yes, unbelievable weather as well. I thought it was supposed to be winter. Be nice if we got this back home, wouldn't it? No, yeah, it's unbelievably exciting. Finally to be here and kind of getting stuck into it now. Training's done, so yeah, it's exciting.
Training in the sunshine. George as well. How's that been this week? And how ready are you? What's to come tomorrow?
Yeah, he's been brilliant, especially in training. Some of the stuff he's been doing, like he looks like he's not missed a beat, kind of thing. So massively excited to be to playing alongside him. And then obviously with Owen Watkin on the bench as well when he comes on, what he's done in Six Nations as well. So yeah, it's really exciting, and hopefully he can take his chance and do what he does normally. Like, you know, what he brings to the team is fantastic. So it's going to be really exciting.
Absolutely key to get that partnership going and show some good signs in attack and defence as well. Though Am and Galazda and how difficult the task you've got on your hands there.
Yeah, well, the consistency shows how good they are as a pair, and how much they've done together. They're brilliant. I think I spent a bit of time at Sarries at one point, so I know him a little bit. He was brilliant then, and he's obviously brilliant now. So the things they've done is great, and it's going to be a massive test for us to obviously try and contain them, both attacking, but also with their defence. They're pretty sharp, and they're pretty aggressive as well. So it's going to be a real chess match in that sense, to kind of, you know, trying to unlock what we can, and then obviously try and contain and be aggressive back to them. So yeah, it's an exciting one really, and you never know with the first one. These are the kind of things that you kind of figure out, you know, how the rest are going to go.
You mentioned Saracens there. You've had a great season, great form. You must be pretty happy with where you are at personally ahead of the series.
Yeah, I'm really happy. Obviously, not winning the final wasn't great, but for me to be able to play consistently there and get a good rapport with the boys, be back after a pretty tumultuous, or the season we had was pretty tough in the champ, but I've loved every second being back, and I've loved being there and playing and getting as many games as I've had. I'm very, very fortunate for that. So yeah, I've really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Lauren?
Nick, you come from an environment at Sarries when you really built a partnership with Elliot, certainly the latter stages of the season. I think you started with Huntley, Owen, John and Jonathan, so many different players in Wales. How big a challenge is that?
Yeah, I can't sit here and lie and say it's been easy and I don't care who's there. It's like, it has been tough, like, because you really want to build up that kind of rapport, like you say, and you get to know the person, how he likes, how he defends, how he attacks, what he likes to do. So it has been really tough. But I suppose that's part and parcel of what we're going through. You know, players have retired, players have gone away, and so it's kind of finding out who as a centre partners, how we all mesh together and work best with. I suppose for me, I've just focused on myself and firstly trying to get in the team. So I think that's the first thing, and I think it's been great playing with Owen Watkins. He's been brilliant, and George also, when he's come in, has been really good as well, and a real voice. And his carry is phenomenal. So it's been really nice having that kind of partnership. So I'm sure whoever comes into it, whoever it is, Johnny as well, is going to really take it on, and we have to really, because I think from now on you really want to try and get consistency. So that's more on us as players to perform and give no excuses to management to have to swap in and out and try and find the answer, you know.
And you hope then this is the start of a more consistent partnership with George, who out of the World Cup. He's had a tough year, he's been very vocal about how it is for both him and myself.
Yeah, well, like for me, it's a testament to him as a bloke, like the injury he had, and then to come in. And for me, in training, to look how sharp he does has been like, I think it's really impressive, to be fair. And he's straight in the team because of it. So I'm sure he'll have some nerves, but I'm sure they'll go away, and you'll see what he can bring. And like for me, like I just said, like, to be honest, it's on us as players, especially centres, to really lock this down and give no excuses to be swapped in and out. It's not no one else. You can't point the finger towards anyone else. So. I hope that's what we can do, because I think that's what we need. We need to start getting some consistency now and build towards the World Cup, and it starts tomorrow.
And just finally, there were a lot of questions on Tommy yesterday to Wayne, actually. He mentioned the fact he'd been playing in the title contested final and playing consistently in the lead up to this tour, being a big factor in the selection.
Yeah, I think for me going back to Sarries, as how long I've been there for, and I know the system and I know the coaches. For me, going back was brilliant for me, and I hope it showed in my games and how much I played, and I've really enjoyed it. So you can't take that kind of thing for granted. I know Tommy loves Leicester and how well he's done and how well that team's done. For me, it just proves how well or how invaluable those kind of clubs are, as well as the Welsh regions, but also the boys who are away playing in the Prem week out. It's week in, week out. Is a big thing.
Has Tommy given you any time to? Has he kept his head down?
Yeah, he kept his head down. He gave me a little chat. He hasn't said too much. He obviously new boy and he can't get stuck into me. I think I've been giving myself the chat really. I just can't believe it.
You touched about your relationship with George. Is there anything you do, I don't know, in the week off the field? You have coffee together? Do you just spend a bit more time around each other in the team room, get a feel for each other?
Yeah, I think we've had coffees together and stuff. I think it's more the little chats of in the team room and stuff, like what he thinks, what he sees, and what I can do, and vice versa kind of thing, and how he wants me to defend. That's really important because I need to know what he likes and what he's not uncomfortable with, and make sure that we work well together. But yeah, we definitely will have a coffee and we'll chat, and those are really important.
Just lastly for me, put me in the middle of Loftus on Saturday. Lukhanyo Am's probably going to defend quite aggressively. You may look up, see him in your line of vision. Take me into that scenario. What goes through your head? How quickly do you have to make these decisions?
Yeah, well, the first thing I suppose you've got to do is you can look before that goes on about body language and see what they're doing, and especially with Am, you know he's going to come aggressive, but he tries to play games a little bit, and so you've got to look at that body language first, and then in the moment when it happens, whatever it is, you just have to be decisive, because as soon as you start to think that those seconds go real quick, and then whatever you do is going to be weak, or it's going to be passive in a way. So the preparation beforehand, you know that those scenarios could happen, and then you go through it in terms of you think what could you do in those scenarios, and you have a couple of choices. So it's nice that I've got George, fairly big lad outside me that I can tip to if it does happen. So but yeah, I would say whatever those, you know what could happen, but you've got to also be in the moment, and then when you're in the moment, whatever it is, if it's decisive, it's going to be all right.
I want to wait for that to just, if anybody else has another question. Okay. Are there any further questions? Yeah.
Hi, Morgan. Dan yesterday spoke about this noise that has been coming in from everyone else that you guys have already lost the game. South African supporters seem to think it's a foregone conclusion. When you get to Loftus, you're going to be facing 51,000 partisan fans. How are you going to? What's the mentality behind blocking all of that out and just getting down to the business and doing what you guys need to do?
I think, firstly, as rugby players, especially all the boys in there and stuff, we've dealt with noise before. I mean, especially at Principality, it's a noisy place. So the noise in terms of in the stadium itself, I don't think it's going to affect the players. But I think the best way you deal with stuff like that is you just have to focus on your job, and you just have to focus on whatever action you do next. It's got to be a positive one, and it's got to be aggressive, but it's got to be 100% all in. And if you have any kind of doubt, anything like that, that's where a South African side like this will roll you over, you know. So we know the physical battle that's coming. I've also been experienced coming into a final or coming into a game being the heavy favourites and then getting turned over by the underdogs. So quite recently. So there's never a foregone conclusion, and it's never 100% one way or the other. I think whatever happens, for me, I just want to see us as a group really scrap for each other, really take it to this South African side in a manner that's aggressive but controlled and just full of energy. And look, if we get that as a performance, for me personally, I don't care the outcome. I just want to see that performance, and I just want to see us as a group bring that.
As a team, where do you guys want to be after the first 20 minutes of the match?
God, I'd love to be 50-0 up. That'd be great, wouldn't it? Again, I don't really, obviously wouldn't want to be fit. I wouldn't want to be 20 points down, but again, like, it's one of those. This game's going to ebb and flow, and it did in Wales, and it was one of those where, because there's a lot of kicking as well, things can happen. The bounce of the ball is difficult, but for me, I want to feel where I feel where we're going to be in it is going to be obviously physically wise, and it's going to be in those first hits, and we'll probably figure out early on where we are at that moment in time, and hopefully 20 minutes in we're going to be there, and we're going to be taking it to them and standing up tall. If we're not, that's when we're going to have conversations with ourselves and get us there, because there's no doubt about this is going to be a physical battle.
Okay, we've got time for one more, or nope? Okay, well,